Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. We hope you had a wonderful holiday weekend for all of those who celebrate the holidays for the spring. And we are coming to you from, we're just learning how to pronounce it, Cinque Terre, which is on the west coast of Italy above Pisa. And we are going to do some hiking all this week. But this past week, oh, by the way, I'm Chris.
I'm Steve.
And we're from EatWalkLearn. We share with you every Monday all the things we're doing in our full-time traveling life as retired nomads, usually around vegan eating, hiking, and alternative transportation, sustainability, and kind of off the beaten path stuff. We are probably never going to talk to you about one of the great cathedrals of the world or one of the great, I don't know.
Yeah.
You never know. We might.
We just talk about anything.
Yeah, we'll talk about anything. And today, we're going to talk to you about the surprising, unexpected treasures and gems we found in Tuscany. So Tuscany is a region of Italy. The main city in the region of Tuscany is Florence. So people say they're going to go to Tuscany, which means they're probably going to go to Florence and all the various little villages and towns around the Tuscan geography, region, county,
area,
nobleman, who knows. Anyway, so our anything else you want to add?
No, let's go. Let's hit number one.
Okay, number one. So when we first got to Tuscany, or Florence, we met up with some family members. It was so nice to have some family come over and visit us from the U.S. If you're coming this way, give us a shout. We will meet up with you. We went to Pisa. We went to Pisa because one of our family members said, it's a beautiful medieval town. You got to go see it. And we're like, okay, there must be a pretty chapel or church or cathedral or something there. Anyway, so up and down, and we'll tell you about how we got there in another video. But we came to Pisa on top of the hill, and I think the thing I loved the most about Pisa, which was so unexpected, is all of the views. So all of the artwork and all of the things you see of these beautiful Tuscan landscapes, and you think about, under a Tuscan sun, this was it.
Yeah, so beautiful, and the mountains and the area and the valleys, and we're right at the burst of springtime here in April. The leaves have that incredible green, fresh green new leaf.
That's your favorite color,
It's
isn't
my
it?
favorite color, and that we had bright sun, and it was just so beautiful. It was just a gorgeous town to visit, and just the views and of the town itself, and from the town into the valleys around it.
And if you want some cheese, it's also a great place to get pecorino cheese, but it's the views. So if you're looking for those traditional Tuscan views, head to Pisa, Pinza, Pisa in Tuscany. Okay, number two. All right, we don't know our geography very well. This actually isn't Tuscany.
We took a little side trip to Venice because we couldn't miss Venice, so we took a couple hours in the car to get there. So not in Tuscany, but still a beautiful surprise.
And it wasn't the gondola ride we took or walking through the canals or all the pretty things of Venice. It was...
What was it?
the Jewish Ghetto. It was so delightful. I think we've got a little bit of cathedral fatigue being in the very Catholic country of Mexico and now the very Catholic country of Italy. All of the beautiful landmarks and places, things people go see, of course, are the cathedrals and the basilicas, which are beautiful, and we're not dissing those, but it was so refreshing to get to go on a walking tour through the original Jewish ghetto, right?
Yeah, we particularly took this walking tour because it was one of the ones that's off the beaten path, and that's what we like to do. We don't want to stay in the tourist areas. We were in parts of Venice that we didn't see tourists at all, and particularly in the Jewish ghetto, where it was very authentic. Jewish people still live there. There are Jewish delis, and we were right there.
And kosher restaurants?
Kosher restaurants, right there at the beginning of Passover. So there were, some celebrations going on. But to realize that the term ghetto originated from here. This is the first one. This is where the word comes from. And to really kind of get that perspective of how Jewish people lived in Italy for hundreds of years. And
thousands. I mean, he was talking about Attila the Hun being part of the reason why they live in that particular area. So,
But in particularly the more recent history, there was a Holocaust memorial there as well, and it just to me was one of the things that I appreciated most about our visit to Venice.
and what was really nice is that this tour actually existed, because certainly there's a lot of emphasis and priority on the cathedrals and the basilicas. So that was really enjoyable. So we saw some synagogues and saw what Steve said. So it was really, really fantastic. Okay, number 3. All right, we know this is on everybody's list of things you have to do when you're in Florence, but the Statue of David, pay the money, what, 15 euro or 20 euro or whatever it was, to get into the Academy and go see it.
The secret is, for a couple extra euro, you don't have to wait in line. Buying reserved or advance tickets just was a complete failure. We couldn't get advance tickets, but right across the street, literally from the
main
box
entrance,
office,
from
the main entrance of the Accademia, was a little window where you could get reserved tickets and essentially just walk right in. We paid a couple extra euro, but hey, we didn't have to wait around. There were some people that were waiting for 2 hours in line to get in. And frankly, it's not that big a museum.
And there's really not a lot in it except some old pre-Renaissance paintings or at the beginning of the Renaissance, and then the Statue of David and some lots of statues of David. And actually, there's a really cool Michelangelo exhibit of a mold of his face that was taken at his death, and then his apprentice turned it into statues, and that was really interesting. But the reason you go is to go see David. Now, we actually had found 2 other Davids in the city of Florence, and I'm going to show you a photo of 3 Davids, and you need to guess which one is the original David. It should be pretty easy to tell.
It's the one in the museum.
But so we're like, we've seen the copies, we've seen the fakes. We don't need to go see the real one, but we got convinced to go see it, and I cried when I saw it. So it's worth it. Go do it. I know this is on everybody's bucket list, but don't not put it on your bucket list. Just go do it. Okay, number 4, the Alabaster in Volterra. What'd you like about that?
Volterra is one of the last towns that we went to, and again, beautiful city, amazing views, great food, fantastic gelato. But the Alabaster history there, again, goes back, I don't know how many thousands, hundreds of thousands, whatever.
Centuries, whatever.
Or thousands.
They're just numbers.
But to see the craftsmen that are still creating the Alabaster art, and it's just
the beauty of the
working
stone,
with the stone
and
it's amazing.
You'll see the video that we're rolling here. We got to go into a workshop and actually watch them create some little figurine or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. That was really a surprise. So number 5. Thank you to Amy Cheslin, a friend of mine in Denver who actually is a docent on the Aurora Art Program. So if you're in Denver, hi all my Denver friends, check out the Aurora Art Program because there's lots of great art there. But she recommended we go to a little known museum that was actually right next to the Academy. And people were standing in line 4 hours. They could have gone right into this place. It was the first day it was open after being closed for 6 months. So timing was perfect. But it's a history and the production of all of the Italian mosaics. You know, you see the beautiful tables and the wall art where it's inlaid with marble and different stones. Unbelievable. The pieces in here.
So beautiful. And what I really liked was when you went upstairs, there was all of the antique equipment that was used to hand make these mosaics, again, for hundreds of years, and a video that shows you how did they actually make these mosaics, the painstaking effort that it went to create these beautiful works of art. And this is also, leads into our next thing, the Medici family that really supported all of the arts during the Renaissance and actually, created, if you will, the Renaissance period with their support and the amount of just the wealth that they had. So a number of pieces that they had from their original home and palaces is just fantastic.
They're in this museum, and the name of the museum is, I'm going to butcher this, Opificio delle Pietre Dure. I will put that down in the links below so you can see what my Italian is trying to say. Anyway, it was €4 to get in. make sure you go. It will only take maybe an hour to go through the whole museum, especially if you watch the video. Totally worth it, especially if you like fine craftsmanship and handiwork. Okay, the last one. You've been waiting all this time for the last one, the number one, the thing that surprised us the most.
Wait, let me lean into it. Leaning
into it. That's your hint. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. Oh my God. I mean, you guys have, I'm sure you've seen pictures of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And you probably think it's just, or I thought, it's just this, tower in the field and you're like, whatever. But then you come around the gate and...
Yeah, it's huge and it's beautiful and it's marble and it's next to a cathedral and it's just...
And a basilica and a baptism and
museum. There's this entire area. Lots of people were there. Of course, we were there during Easter week, so it's just certainly there was packed on spring break people. But the again, my memory. This is kind of like a bucket list item for me. It's like I think my memory is like as a kid, really little, reading about the Leaning Tower of Pisa in a book and thinking that was like a wooden tower. I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 stories tall. It's huge. It's beautiful and it's amazing and it's leaning and it really is. It's crazy.
And it's surrounded by incredibly beautiful buildings. I mean, anyway, there's pictures. You're watching pictures, but
I get a chance to walk around the town as well, and it's a cute town. It's kind of touristy. It's very touristy, but definitely that's another one. You're going to come to this area of Italy. Pisa, you have to go to Pisa.
And it is free to see the tower. It's a couple euro. I think you can buy a 15 euro pass to go into all the different buildings.
And you can go to the top. You can go to the top of I'm kind of, not that great at heights, so I don't need to go to the top.
But put Pisa on your list. It's corny and it's cheesy. It's kind of like doing the gondola in Venice, which we also did. But just do it because it is completely unexpected and absolutely beautiful. All right, so those are our 6 things, unexpected, beautiful gems to do in Tuscany. Next week, we'll be telling you about, hopefully, if the weather cooperates, hiking the Cinque Terre. Maybe we'll learn how to pronounce it next week.
Medici. Right. I got Medici down.
No, Medici.
No, it's Medici.
All right, come on, all you Italians watching who are like, oh my God, the Americans are speaking Italian. Tell us how to pronounce these things. Anyway, if you've been to Tuscany or if you're going to Tuscany, what were some of your favorite things or what's on your list to go to Tuscany? And if you're reading the comments and you see someone saying, hey, I want to go whatever, and you've got a suggestion, write it below. If you've got a blog post or a YouTube that goes along with supporting someone going to Tuscany, post it down below. We support people doing that as long as it's not spam. Talk to you guys next week. Arrivederci.
Ciao.